so nervous doing this speech, but a good friend of mine told me, you should picture everyone naked. So I'm trying my best not to look at Benji. Nice. Wait everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Darren's taller, younger cousin Wayne. As a kid, I always looked up to Darren, which is ironic because he was always looking up at me. We were always close as kids, but this was about to change because Benji was moving everyone to Mullingar, and when they got settled, we started to visit. It became the favourite thing for the kids in our family to do. There was always something. They had horses, quad bikes, they even had chickens. And I always thought Darren was being cruel to the chickens because he always talked about choking them. I thought there was one chicken in particular I didn't like because he said chicken instead of chickens, and I used to think, I need to help this chicken escape before Darren kills him. If only I knew which chicken was being choked. They all looked so alike and none of their necks looked damaged. How am I going to find out which chicken is being assaulted? Do I set up a camera? Do I hide in the bushes? To catch Darren choking the chicken. I was running out of time to save this chicken. Little did I know, Darren was going to finish the job that night. I can't tell you how many long sleepless nights I had thinking of Darren choking the chicken. What did that poor little chicken do to deserve this kind of torture? I only realised what chicken Darren was actually choking when I grew older. No wonder I couldn't find him, he was so small. I remember as a kid on a Friday waiting for Benji to finish work to collect us to bring us to Mullingar. He would pull up in his Pajero Jeep and into the back we would go. Benji's Jeep had no seats or seatbelts in the back, and given his history with car crashes, I'm surprised I'm here to give this speech. Benji was always the cool uncle who basically let you do whatever you wanted as long as you got a bit of work out of it. I remember going to a pub with Benji and Darren to play pool. I must have been 11 years old, and Benji bought me can after can of Red Bull. I still remember that headache today. There was nothing better than all the Crane kids being in Mullingar together. We have some great memories. Things weren't so good for Darren in his normal day-to-day life, and although he was very popular with the women and got many shifts, that's a culture word for kissing, he was not too popular with the local lads. One fella in particular, the local bully, the infamous Jimmy. Darren couldn't understand why this guy hated him so much. Maybe it was because Darren was 14 and had a sunbed in his room. Which he used way too much. Maybe it was the fact Darren had slit shaved into his eyebrows. Or maybe it was the fact Darren never wore a t-shirt. Still to this day, it's a mystery. Things got really bad to the point myself and Carl agreed to go down to sort Jimmy out once and for all. We arrived in Mullingar, made a plan, and set off into the night.
Work hard! Work hard!
We were walking through a housing estate and Darren took off running. He ran so fast he reminded me of Usain Bolt, or as Darren once called him, Usain Bolt. He ran into a garden and hid in the bush, and before me and Carl could find out why, we seen three lads walking towards us. There he was. It was Jimmy. I turned and looked at Carl, who was crying at this stage. So I said to him, now is not the time to cry. Let's do what we came here to do. Jimmy then proceeded to ask me and Carl have we seen Darren, or Creighton as they were calling him. So me and Carl did what any good loyal cousins would do. We told Jimmy we haven't seen Darren, but if we did, we'd be sure to let him know. We left Darren in the bush and did the back of Darren had enough of the bullying and enrolled in karate, quickly moving through the sport and earned himself a black belt, a huge achievement. He still has that black belt to this day, but as you can all see, it doesn't fit him anymore. After months of training, Darren was finally ready to take on Jimmy, and they agreed to a fair fight. Everyone in Mullingar knew about it, and everyone showed up. Someone said more people watched that fight than they did Mullingar's biggest star, Noel Warren, on the X Factor. The Jimmy situation ended with Darren beating him to an inch of his life. Some say Jimmy never recovered, others say nobody cares. So Darren finally made it to the top of the hill. He was the king of Mullingar and had a big decision to make. Stay in Mullingar and pursue a career in Cowtippin, or make his way to Dublin, or the big smoke as he once called it. And like many Irish immigrants did before him, setting sail to New York in search of a better life, Darren also set sail. He set sail for his new home in Port of Blanchardstown. Upon arriving in New York, the Irish immigrants were greeted by the Statue of Liberty, a sign of hope for someone seeking a new life. When Darren arrived in Cardiff, he was greeted by warning cards and guarded checkpoints. It took Darren a while to come to terms he wasn't in the countryside anymore, and a couple of things he had to learn. In Mullingar, you leave your keys in the ignition outside, and nobody would touch them. Darren thought he could do this in Cardiff. 15 minutes later, his car was stolen. But the thieves were good enough to give it back after they had their fun. Darren had moved in with Annie Daisy, and when she left the house, we grew up to all sorts. One day in particular, around Halloween time, Darren told me a firework would explode in the war, and of course I told him it wouldn't. And to prove it, we filled up the battle war, took a metal coat hanger, duct taped the firework to the metal hanger, Darren lit the fuse, he held it under the water, and just like he said, it exploded. Darren felt vindicated, he had proved me wrong, and in true Darren style, he lit another firework, and without taping it to the coat hanger like before, he dropped it in the water. The rocket quickly made its way to the bottom of the vat where it exploded, leaving a huge hole and water leaking down into the room below. We panicked, quickly drained the bath, and tried to make a plan not to get into trouble. Darren came up with the idea to say he fell and his foot broke through the back. To make Benji believe us, he went that bit further and cut his ankle with a knife. But Benji still didn't believe us. It wasn't until our Uncle Liam told him he'd seen it happen all the time that we got away with it.
Yeah! Go on, Liam.
After the bat situation, me and Darren decided to take our romance to another level. And what better thing to do, being the whitest Irish kids you've ever seen, we started a rap group called DCM Blanche. And stayed up all night in rap music chat rooms online, taking turns rapping into a mic to our rap friends all over the world. Things weren't so good in the rap music industry, and myself and Darren got into a lot of fights. I was 15 and was getting embarrassed by it all, but Darren was 26 and he didn't want to hear it. He was going to make it in the rap game, or he was going to die trying. So we decided to part ways, and DCM Blanche was no more. Some music critics compared the breakup to that of the Beatles, Oasis, Take That, Westlife, ABBA, and One Direction. After we parted ways, we stopped talking altogether. I would run into him sometimes and we'd acknowledge each other, but that was it. I remember being at a garage in Blanchardstown and a silver Mercedes with a bale of hay strapped to the roof swerved into the garage. It was like something out of the Dukes of Hazzard, and out jumped my big little cousin Darren. He walked towards me and confidently asked if I had any money. I was very young at the time and had €2. Darren took it and proceeded to put €2 petrol into the Mercedes. We came back together when I managed to get an apprenticeship working with Darren, and he promised to look after me and pick me up at my door for work every day. After the first week of collecting me, he told me if I wanted to be collected from my door, I would have to have toast ready for him. And if I didn't have toast, I would have to walk 20 minutes in the rain to meet him at the motorway. For the most part, he did look after me, except that time he left me stranded in Dundrum with no way home, because he got off 20 minutes early. That was a long walk home. Thanks again, Darren. I can't fault him, but He always took me on lectures on the weekends and showed me the trade. I remember one day I did a 14-hour shift and he paid me €60. When I complained, he told me he messed up on the job and there was no money left. A few years later I told him the story and he admitted he made lovely money off that job. So Darren, if you're wondering why there's only €60 on your wedding card, now you know why. I know you wouldn't think the look at him, but Darren was into the sports in the gym when he was younger. He used to look like Shane from Westlife, but he gave up the sports and slowly turned into Ricky Gervais. Me and Darren have gone back to our bromance days, and Darren asked me to be godfather to his son Zach. Zach, if you're listening, I'm sure you're wondering where all your birthday and Christmas presents are. You have your granddad Benji to blame for that. He's my godfather and stop giving me presents when I'm sure. I have to say, but I'm sure you will all agree how well Darren looks in the tuxedo. We actually ran into some trouble getting him the suit to fit. We eventually found a tailor to do the alterations. There was so much he had to take off the arms, he thought it was a suit for a T-Rex.
Oh, you're a prick.
Now I have to move on to the lovely bride Jade. Jade, I've already written down how beautiful does the bride look. But after seeing you today, I really mean it. But I have to say, you don't look like someone who's just made the worst mistake of your life.
Go on, mate.
I have a few more words to say about Jade. Jade, you are forbearing, uncomplaining, tolerant, long-suffering, resigned, stoical, and resolved, which are all words for patience, and that's exactly what you need to spend more than one day with Darren. I know I made a lot of jokes at Darren's expense tonight and all in good fun, but I consider Darren a brother, and although we only see each other a couple of times a year, thank God, we speak every day on the phone and spend most of our time insulting each other, which is our way of getting along. Thank you, Darren and Jade, for asking me to stand at your wedding. Darren, I'm sure you're regretting it now, but don't get your hopes up, it's not finished just yet. Hard to believe this relationship started with a poke war on Facebook. If you're young, you'll know what that means, but if you're old and dirty-minded, it's not what you think. I have one more thing to say, and that is Darren had warned me not to go too hard into the speech, and I like to think I kept it to a minimum. But unfortunately, Darren, you knew what you were doing when asking me to do this speech. So here's something you do not know about Darren. When Darren was a lonely, hormone-enraged teenager living in the countryside in Mullingar, with very little human interaction, there was one thing he enjoyed doing more than anything else, and I'm sure you can all guess. That's right, he loved hoovering his room. He would spend hours on end, and when he finally come out, he'd be covered in sweat, he would have a glass of water and straight back in. Anytime Benji and Pamela had visitors, they'd say, Jesus, you've a great lad there hoovering his room like that. He's really going at it. Must be doing a deep clean, is he? Benji and Pamela would laugh nervously because they knew what he was doing. Their suspicions were confirmed when they found out the Hoover was pregnant. What a progression Darren's had in life. He's gone from choking chickens to hoovering his room, to having a house, 2 kids, a great career, a beautiful loving wife, and the best Jeep known to man in Nissan Qashqai. All a man could want, and now that he's married, he will be soon back to choking chickens. And I just want to say, Darren, although you lost your name today, you will never lose your family. Now I'd like to raise a glass to Darren and Jade. And and I'll hand you over to the chicken choker himself, Mr. Darren Barber.